Ah, superhero movies. You can't get away from them, can ya? Well, this month a lot of you certainly did, as the new DC film, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, flew into theaters and ran straight into a window, earning only $33 million in its opening weekend and barely holding on to second place in week 2 with an additional $16 million, saved by a weekend that had nothing but Sonic to really compete with. Or you could have bitched about all these new stupid comic and video game movies and went and saw Bad Boys for Life, the 300 millionth buddy cop action movie ever made. The movie was doing so poorly that theaters changed the name of it to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, in the hopes that maybe you just didn't see her name in that long-ass title and her image all over the trailers and on the poster, and that's why you didn't go to see it. Hell, even when you search Birds of Prey movie, that's how Google shows it. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Warner Brothers claims they had nothing to do with it. They're not changing the title, that the theaters did this by themselves. But, since when are the theaters allowed to make these decisions? My understanding is that Disney pretty much dictates how many screens their movies will play on, how long they have to run the movie for, what percentage of each ticket they'll get. They have full control. Apparently, though, Warner Brothers just eats AMC's shit out of a popcorn bag and asks for free refills. If things stay at this pace, it will be the second Marvel or DC superhero movie in this era to not make over $100 million in the US, the first being Fox's Dark Phoenix, both of which came out in the last 12 months. So what does this mean? Are the pundits ready to start declaring the death of superhero movies? Are guys like Terry Gilliam and Martin Scorsese rubbing their hands together? And by the way, can journalists stop asking old man directors what they think of fucking superhero movies? Terry Gilliam, you're a founding member of Monty Python, and you made 12 Monkeys and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Martin Scorsese, you've been making crime movies and biopics for 5 decades. Both of you are like 100 years old. How excited are you for the Avengers? What answer did people think they were gonna get? They thought Scorsese was gonna have a fucking Baby Groot Funko Pop on his desk? Maybe later you can write an article about what Stanley Kubrick would have thought about the word yeet. But anyway, obviously the answer to my earlier question is, it's still too early to tell. But I think this is the year that we find out if the burnout is real, if the license to print money is finally expired, or if these are just one-off busts and these fucking things will continue forever. Over the next 12 months, Marvel is putting out a Black Widow solo movie, yay, another prequel where there's really no conflict since you know the fate of every fucking character, The Eternals, and Shang-Chi. I've never heard a single person say, "Ah man, you know, I'm so fucking sick of seeing Iron Man and Thor and Spider-Man and Captain America. You know who needs a movie? Shang-Chi." They're gambling heavy with their next movies on the fact that they made Guardians of the Galaxy really popular, so they can do it with any property. Disney also has to dump New Mutants out as the last of the Fox movies, which again, I'm sure they're really excited about after Dark Phoenix tanked. DC has Wonder Woman 1984 coming out. If that doesn't make close to $1 billion worldwide, that's going to be highly disappointing for Warner, I'm sure. But they gotta be at least a little pissed that Marvel beat them to the punch with their all-powerful superheroine set in a retro time period, so they have an excuse to tailor the soundtrack to a nostalgic adult audience movie. And Sony is continuing its Spider-Man without Spider-Man universe, putting out a movie based on D-list enemy Morbius the Vampire about 10 years after the vampire craze ended. So, you know, that should do really well. But let's say they do end up making a shitload of money. Then we have to come back to, okay, so why didn't a Harley Quinn movie do well when she's arguably one of the most popular characters according to the internet and people who shop at Hot Topic? One could blame the R rating, but that only ended up helping Deadpool, the Marvel equivalent of overexposed edgy comedy comic characters, and Joker certainly did well, although critics got to pretend that was real cinema. They're blaming the coronavirus for the weak international ticket sales. China's closed most if not all their movie theaters, and if there are any still open, I guess no one wants to risk dying over seeing Birds of Prey. One could blame that it was a mostly female cast, which means Reddit is automatically not going to see it, but Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel did very well because the internet loudmouths make up such a small percentage of moviegoers that their opinion is effectively meaningless. See also the $1 billion that Rise of Skywalker made. The reviews are mediocre, but not deal breakers. A 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 3.8 out of 5 on Google, and a 79% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Comparably rated movies have done better at the box office. See also the $1 billion that Rise of Skywalker made. No, here's my theory. Girls didn't want to take their boyfriends to go get an erection watching Margot Robbie, and guys can't go to an all-girl movie with their guy friends because, again, it's awkward sitting in the dark next to your pals with an erection. And so all you got left is girls going with other girls. Except they're like, why the fuck would we go see a comic book movie when we don't actually have to? So they go do something else. Women are generally more social when they hang out and want to do things that aren't sit in silence in the dark for 2 hours. Guys don't care. Sitting in the dark and not talking is great. The fewer opportunities for us to accidentally let a real emotion slip out among friends, the better. Anyway, that's my theory for why Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, Black Mask, please fucking see this movie so Ali Wong can eat, didn't do very well. Jealousy, embarrassing boners, and semi-sexist stereotypes. Actually, now that I say it out loud, if that had been the slogan on the poster, it might have made a few more dollars.